The birthday card arrived at 9:23 a.m. on Tuesday. I was in the kitchen making breakfast when my husband Daniel brought in the mail. He kissed my cheek and set the stack on the counter. Happy birthday, beautiful. 30 looks good on you. Thank you. Though I still feel like I'm 25. That's because you are 25. Just with 5 years of experience. He grinned and grabbed his coffee. I have that conference call at 10, but we're still doing dinner tonight, right? 7 p.m. at Marcello's. Wouldn't miss it. After he left for his home office, I sorted through the mail. Bills, catalogs, a package from my best friend Sophie. And one envelope that made my stomach drop. My mother's handwriting. Precise, elegant, unmistakable. I hadn't spoken to my parents in 6 months. Not since the argument at Easter dinner when my father announced that my brother Nathan was taking over the family business, even though I'd been running the financial side for 8 years. When I'd objected, Mom had said, "Nathan's a real Thompson. You're just me. Not a real Thompson." Despite having their last name. Despite growing up in their house. Despite everything I'd done for them. I'd left that dinner and hadn't returned their calls since. Now on my 30th birthday, Mom was reaching out. I opened the envelope carefully. Inside was a birthday card. Generic, the kind you'd buy at a drugstore. Not the expensive, embossed ones she usually preferred. I opened it. The printed message said, "Happy birthday." Below it, in her perfect script, she'd written, "Anna, you're adopted. We never loved you. We only kept you because we thought we couldn't have children of our own. Then Nathan came along. You were never really family. Don't contact us again. We've already told everyone the truth." Mom. I read it once. Then twice. Then a third time. The words didn't change. The meaning didn't change. My mother had sent me a birthday card telling me I was adopted, unloved, and unwanted. Anna. You okay? Daniel had appeared in the doorway. He must have heard something in my silence. I handed him the card without speaking. I watched his face change as he read it. Confusion. Rage. What the hell is this? I think it's pretty clear. Anna, this is monstrous. Who does this? Who sends this on someone's birthday? Apparently my mother. I'm calling them right now. This is unacceptable. Don't. My voice was calm. Too calm. The kind of calm that came before earthquakes. Don't call them. But I need to make a phone call. To Patricia. Patricia Chen was my attorney. She'd been helping me structure my investments for the past 5 years. She knew everything about my financial situation. Everything. Your lawyer? Anna, what are you thinking? I'm thinking my mother just made a very big mistake. I dialed Patricia's number. She answered on the second ring. Anna. Happy birthday. How's? Patricia, I need you to listen carefully. I need papers filed immediately. Eviction notices, repossession orders, and I need to dissolve the trust one set up 3 years ago. There was a pause. The trust? Anna, that's the one that holds. I know what it holds. I want it dissolved. Today. And I want everything that was in it transferred back to my name. All assets, all properties, all business shares. Everything. That's going to cause some immediate problems for the beneficiaries. I'm counting on it. Can I ask what prompted this? My mother sent me a birthday card. It says I'm adopted, unloved, and unwanted. She told me never to contact the family again. Oh my God. So I'm taking her advice. I'm severing all contact. But first I'm taking back everything I gave them. Anna, walk me through what you want. Specifically. I took a deep breath. The house they live in. The one on Oakmont Drive. I bought it for them 5 years ago when they were facing foreclosure. Put it in a trust with them as beneficiaries. I want it back. Immediately. With a 30-day eviction notice. Okay. The cars. I bought them both new cars 3 years ago. Dad's Lexus, Mom's Mercedes. Both are titled in my name, leased through my LLC to them at zero cost. I want those repossessed. Today. I can make those calls. The business. Thompson and Associates. My father's accounting firm. The one he built with my grandfather. It was failing 8 years ago. I bought it. Paid off all the debts, restructured everything, put it in a trust with my father as managing beneficiary. I own 70% of it. He owns 30%. I want my shares back under my direct control. And I want an emergency board meeting called. Anna, if you do that, you'll have majority control. You could remove him as managing partner. That's the idea. This is going to destroy them financially. They destroyed me emotionally. Fair trade. There was a long pause. All right. I'll need a few hours to draft everything. But Anna, are you sure? This is scorched earth. There's no coming back from this. Patricia, my mother told me I was never really family. That they never loved me. On my 30th birthday. I don't want to come back from this. Understood. I'll have papers ready by 2 p.m. We'll need your signature, then we can file everything by end of business today. Perfect. And Patricia? One more thing. Yes. I want police present when we serve the eviction notice and repossess the cars. I don't trust them not to cause a scene. I'll coordinate with the sheriff's office. They can do a civil standby. After I hung up, Daniel was staring at me. You own their house, their cars, the business. I own most of their lives. They just didn't know it. How did they not know? Because I set everything up through trusts and LLCs. I never told them I'd bought the house. I just told them the foreclosure was mysteriously cancelled. I gave them cars as gifts, but kept them titled in my company name. And the business? Dad thinks I'm just the CFO. He has no idea I own controlling interest. Why did you hide it? Because I knew what would happen if they knew I had money. They'd either try to take it or they'd resent me for having more than them. So I helped them quietly. Paid off their debts. Secured their assets. Made sure they were comfortable. And they repaid me by telling me I was never really family. What's going to happen to them? They're going to lose everything. The house, the cars, the business. Everything I gave them I'm taking back. Anna, that's brutal. Is it? Or is it just consequences? They told me not to contact them. So I won't. But first I'm removing myself from their financial life. They want to pretend I was never family? Fine. They can do it without my support. He hugged me. I'm sorry. This is a terrible birthday. It's about to get better. Trust me. At 2:15 p.m. I was in Patricia's office signing papers. Eviction notice for 847 Oakmont Drive. Repossession orders for one Lexus ES 350 and one Mercedes E-Class. Dissolution of the Thompson Family Trust. Transfer of all assets back to Anna Thompson individually. Emergency board meeting for Thompson and Associates, called by majority shareholder Anna Thompson. Patricia watched me sign each document. You're really doing this? I really am. The eviction notice gives them 30 days. The cars will be picked up tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. The board meeting is set for Friday at 10 a.m. Perfect. Anna, they're going to fight this. Your father will challenge your ownership of the business. Your mother will claim the house was a gift. Let them. I have every document, every wire transfer, every contract. It's all ironclad. They can't fight what's legally mine. What about emotionally? Are you prepared for the fallout? Patricia, my mother told me they never loved me. The emotional fallout already happened. This is just the legal aftermath. She slid a final document across the desk. Then sign this. It authorizes me to act on your behalf for all communications with your family. They won't be able to contact you directly. I signed it. Done. The sheriff will serve the eviction notice tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. They'll also supervise the car repossessions. Do you want to be there? No. I never want to see them again. Understood. I spent the rest of my birthday trying to pretend everything was normal. Daniel took me to dinner. We ate expensive pasta and drank good wine. He gave me a beautiful necklace. We came home and watched a movie. But my mind was elsewhere. Imagining tomorrow morning. Imagining the sheriff knocking on the door. Imagining my parents' faces when they realized what was happening. That night I barely slept. At 9:03 a.m. the next morning, Patricia called. They've been served. Both the eviction notice and the car repossession orders. How did they react? According to the sheriff, your father tried to argue. Said there must be some mistake. Your mother locked herself in the bedroom. They repossessed both vehicles without incident, though your brother showed up and started yelling about lawyers. Let him yell. There's something else. Your father called me directly. 27 times. He left voicemails. Don't listen to them. I already did. For legal documentation purposes. And he's panicking. He says he doesn't understand what's happening. That you're overreacting. That your mother's birthday card was taken out of context. Out of context? How do you take "we never loved you" out of context? You don't. But he's desperate. He wants to talk to you. No. He says he'll contest the eviction. Says the house was a gift. He can contest all he wants. I have the deed. My name is on it. The trust documents clearly show I was the grantor and they were beneficiaries. I'm within my rights to dissolve it. He's also threatening to sue you for stealing the business. Let him. I have every document showing I purchased those shares. He can't sue me for taking back what's mine. All right. I'll send him a cease and desist. No more contact attempts or we'll pursue harassment charges. Thank you, Patricia. For 3 days I heard nothing. 3 days of silence while my parents presumably figured out their next move. Then on Friday morning I walked into the emergency board meeting for Thompson and Associates. The conference room was on the 3rd floor of the office building where my father had worked for 35 years. The building my company now owned, though nobody except Patricia and the property management company knew that. I arrived at 9:45 a.m., 15 minutes early. I wanted to be settled before anyone else arrived. Patricia was already there setting up documents. Ready for this? As ready as I'll ever be. The board members started arriving. 5 of them, all longtime business associates of my father's. Men in their 50s and 60s who'd known me since I was a child. Who'd watched me work my way up through the company. Who had no idea I owned most of it. My father arrived at 9:58. He stopped cold when he saw me. Anna, what are you doing here? I called this meeting. I'm on the board. You're not on the board. You're the CFO. I'm the majority shareholder. Which automatically gives me a board seat. Check the bylaws. Patricia slid a document across the table. Article 7, Section 3. Any shareholder with more than 50% ownership has automatic board membership and chairmanship rights. My father read it. His face went pale. You don't have 50%. I have 70%. I've had it for 8 years. You have 30%. The other board members are advisory only. The other board members were looking confused. Richard, what is she talking about? 8 years ago, I said calmly, Thompson & Associates was failing. Revenue was down 60%. You were 3 months from bankruptcy. I bought the company, paid off all debts, restructured operations and turned it profitable. I put it in a trust with my father as managing beneficiary, but I retained ownership of 70% of the shares. That's not possible, one of the board members said. Richard owns this company. Richard owns 30% of this company. I own the rest. Patricia, show them. Patricia distributed copies of the share certificates. Showed them the trust documents. Showed them the original purchase agreement from 8 years ago. The room went silent as everyone read. Anna, honey, my father said, his voice shaking. Why are you doing this? Why am I doing this? I pulled out my mother's birthday card. Set it on the table. Read it. He picked it up. Read it. His face went from pale to gray. Your wife sent this to me on my 30th birthday. 4 days ago. It says I'm adopted, that you never loved me and that I should never contact you again. So I'm following her instructions. I'm severing all contact. But first I'm exercising my rights as majority shareholder. Anna, please. Your mother was upset. She didn't mean. She meant every word. And you know what? I'm done pretending it doesn't matter. I'm done supporting people who see me as less than family. I stood up. I'm calling a vote. Motion to remove Richard Thompson as managing partner of Thompson & Associates, effective immediately. You can't do that. I can. I have 70% of voting shares. All in favor. I raised my hand. Patricia, acting as secretary, recorded it. Motion passes with 70% approval. This is insane. Anna, you're destroying everything I built. No, Dad. I'm taking back what I built. You were failing. I saved you. I put in the work, the money, the strategy. I turned this company profitable. And you thanked me by letting Mom tell me I was never really family. What happens now? One of the board members asked quietly. Now I'm installing a new managing partner. Patricia Chin will serve as interim managing director until I hire a permanent replacement. All current contracts remain in effect. All employees keep their jobs. The company continues operating normally. What about me? Dad's voice was small. You're welcome to stay on as senior accountant. Reduced role, reduced salary. Or you can resign. Your choice. You're demoting me in my own company? It's not your company. It's my company. It always has been. You were just borrowing it. He stood up, shaking. You're just like your mother said. You're not a real Thompson. A real daughter wouldn't do this to her family. You're right. A real daughter wouldn't. But then again, real parents wouldn't send birthday cards like that one. Guess we're all just playing pretend. He stormed out. The other board members sat in uncomfortable silence. Gentlemen, I said calmly. Business continues as usual. You'll report to Patricia until further notice. Any questions? They shook their heads. Good. This meeting is adjourned. The fallout was immediate and spectacular. My mother called from my brother Nathan's phone. I didn't answer. She left a voicemail screaming about betrayal, about how I was destroying their lives, about how she'd always known I was ungrateful. Nathan sent a series of threatening texts. Told me I was evil, that I'd stolen from our parents, that he'd make sure everyone knew what I'd done. My father's business associates started calling, trying to understand what happened. Patricia fielded every call with professional detachment. 3 days after the board meeting, my parents' church friends started reaching out. Apparently, Mom had told everyone that I'd stolen her house and her car, that I'd tricked them into signing documents, that I was financially abusing them. I sent each person a single reply. A photo of the birthday card along with a 2-sentence explanation. This is what my mother sent me on my 30th birthday. I'm simply removing my financial support from people who don't consider me family. The calls stopped after that. A week later, my brother Nathan showed up at my house. Daniel answered the door. Anna's not here. Bullshit. Her car's in the driveway. She doesn't want to see you. She needs to see me. She needs to fix what she did to Mom and Dad. I appeared behind Daniel. I'm not fixing anything. Anna, please. They're going to lose everything. The house, the business, everything. You're destroying them. They destroyed themselves. I just stopped propping them up. Over a birthday card? You're ruining their lives over a birthday card. Over 30 years of being treated as less than. The card was just the final message. They don't love me. They don't consider me family. So I'm giving them what they want. Freedom from me. They're your parents. Are they? Because parents don't send cards like that. Parents don't tell their children they were never wanted. Parents don't announce to the world that their child isn't real family. So maybe they're not my parents. Maybe they're just people I used to know. You're being cruel. I'm being clear. They set the terms. I'm just following through. What do you want? An apology? Fine. I'll make them apologize. I don't want a forced apology. I don't want anything from them. I want them to have the life they apparently wanted, one without me in it. Now get off my property. Anna. Leave. Or I'll call the police for trespassing. He left. But not before calling me every name he could think of. 2 weeks after my birthday, Patricia called with an update. Your parents hired a lawyer. They're suing for ownership of the house and the business. On what grounds? They claim the house was a gift. They're saying you promised it to them in perpetuity, that removing it is elder abuse. I have every document proving otherwise. The trust papers clearly state I can dissolve it at any time. I know. Their lawyer knows too. This is a desperate move. They're hoping you'll settle just to make it go away. I'm not settling. I didn't think so. There's something else. Your father filed for bankruptcy. Already. Without your financial support, his personal debts are overwhelming. The house was his major asset and now it's gone. He can't sustain his lifestyle. That's not my problem. Your mother is telling everyone you abandoned them. That you're heartless. That you turned your back on family in their time of need. Let her talk. Anyone who asks can see the birthday card. And I have to ask. Do you ever regret this? Even a little? I thought about it. Really thought about it. Did I regret taking back my house, my cars, my business? Did I regret responding to cruelty with consequences? No, I said finally. I regret spending 30 years trying to earn love from people who never intended to give it. I regret sacrificing so much for people who saw me as expendable. But taking back what's mine? Standing up for myself? No. I don't regret that at all. Good. Because the court date is set for next month. Be prepared for them to paint you as the villain. I've been the villain in their story for 30 years. I'm used to it. The court case was brief. My parents' lawyer tried to argue that the house was a gift, that I'd promised it to them forever, that taking it back was unconscionable. Patricia presented the trust documents. Showed the explicit language giving me the right to dissolve it. Showed my purchase records, my payment history, every document proving I owned everything. The judge reviewed it all and ruled in my favor. The house was mine. The eviction stood. My parents had 15 days to vacate. In the hallway afterward, my mother confronted me. Are you happy now? You've destroyed us. I gave you the life you wanted. The one without me in it. We never said we wanted a life without you. I pulled out my phone. Showed her a photo of the birthday card. You said, and I quote, "You're adopted. We never loved you. Don't contact us again. I'm just respecting your wishes." I was angry. You'd been ignoring us for months. I was protecting myself from people who hurt me. And you responded by trying to hurt me more. Well, congratulations. You succeeded. You hurt me so badly that I finally understood I needed to cut you out of my life completely. You're our daughter. No, Mom. According to you, I'm adopted. I was never really family. Remember? You told me that. On my birthday. In writing. He started crying. I didn't mean it. Yes, you did. Maybe not the adoption part. I know that was a lie designed to hurt me. But the part about not loving me? The part about me not being a real Thompson? You meant that. You've always meant that. You've been telling me that my whole life, just in quieter ways. Anna, please. I have nothing left to say to you. My lawyer will handle everything from here. Don't contact me again. I walked away. Left her crying in the courthouse hallway. Left my father standing beside her looking defeated. Left my brother Nathan glaring at me like I was a monster. Maybe I was a monster. Maybe taking everything from them was cruel. But they'd taken everything from me first. They'd taken my sense of belonging, my feeling of being loved, my place in a family. They'd spent 30 years taking, and when I finally stopped giving, they acted like I was the villain. I was done being their victim. 6 months later, I was in my home office when Daniel brought in the mail. Anything interesting? Bills, catalogs, and this. He held up an envelope. My father's handwriting. Throw it away. Anna, maybe you should read it. Why? So he can tell me I'm a terrible daughter again? So he can beg for money? Oh, I'm done. What if it's an apology? It's not. How do you know? Because if he was sorry, really sorry, he'd respect my boundaries and leave me alone. Sending a letter after I said not to contact me isn't an apology. It's more manipulation. Daniel looked at the envelope. Should I open it? If you want. But I don't want to know what's in it. He opened it. Read it. His face went through several emotions. It's, Anna, you should read this. No. He's dying. The words hung in the air. What? Cancer. Stage 4. He has maybe 3 months. He wants to see you. He says he has things to say. I took the letter. Read it in my father's shaky handwriting. Anna, I'm dying. I know I don't deserve your forgiveness. I know what we did was unforgivable. But I'm asking anyway. Please come see me. Let me say goodbye properly. Let me tell you things I should have said years ago. Please. Dad. I set the letter down. No. Anna. No. He had 30 years to tell me things. 30 years to treat me like I mattered. And he didn't. And now that he's dying, he wants absolution? He wants to feel better about himself before he goes? Well, I'm not giving him that. He's your father. Is he? Because fathers don't let their wives send birthday cards like that. Fathers don't stand by while their daughters are emotionally destroyed. Fathers protect. He didn't. So no. He doesn't get a deathbed reconciliation. He doesn't get to feel better about how he treated me. You might regret this. I might. But I'll regret it less than I'd regret letting him hurt me one more time. Daniel hugged me. Hey, your choice. Always your choice. My father died 8 weeks later. Nathan called to tell me. I didn't go to the funeral. 3 days after the funeral, my mother called from a number I didn't recognize. I almost didn't answer. But something made me pick up. Anna. What do you want, Mom? I want talk. Face to face. Just once. Then I'll leave you alone forever. Why? Because your father's last words were about you. Because I can't live with what I did. Because I'm asking. Please. Against my better judgment, I agreed. We met at a coffee shop. Neutral territory. She looked old. Older than she should. Grief had aged her. Thank you for coming. You have 15 minutes. Your father's last words. He said, tell Anna I'm sorry. Tell her she was right. Tell her I loved her, I just didn't know how to show it. That's what he said. And then he died. I sat there feeling nothing. Anna, I'm sorry too. For the card. For everything. You were right. We didn't treat you like family. We treated you like you were expendable. Like you didn't matter as much as Nathan. And I can't take that back. I can't fix it. But I'm sorry. Okay. Is that it? Just okay. What do you want me to say, Mom? That I forgive you? That we can go back to how things were? We can't. You broke something that can't be fixed. I know. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm just telling you I'm sorry. And that your father loved you. Even if he never said it right. He didn't love me. He loved the idea of me. The version of me that did what he wanted and never complained. The real me. The one who had feelings and needs and boundaries. He didn't love her. Maybe you're right. We sat in silence for a moment. What happens now? She asked. Now? Nothing. You go live your life. I live mine. We don't contact each other. We don't pretend we're family. We just exist separately. That's what you want. That's what you wanted. Remember? Don't contact us again. Those were your words. I'm just honoring them. She stood up. For what it's worth, I am proud of you. Of what you built. Of how strong you are. I wish I'd told you that before. Before you sent me a birthday card telling me you never loved me? She flinched. Yes. Goodbye, Mom. Goodbye, Anna. She left. I sat there with my coffee, feeling the weight of 30 years lifting off my shoulders. I didn't forgive her. I didn't forgive him. But I did something better. I let go. Let go of the hope that they'd change. Let go of the dream of having parents who loved me unconditionally. Let go of the hurt and the anger and the desperate need for them to see me. I just let it all go. A year later, I stood in the house on Oakmont Drive. My house. The one I'd evicted my parents from. I'd renovated it completely. New floors, new paint, new fixtures. Erased every trace of them. Daniel walked through the rooms admiring the work. It's beautiful. What are you going to do with it? I'm going to sell it. Use the money for something good. Maybe start a foundation. Help other people who feel like they don't belong in their own families. That's a good idea. Or maybe I'll just keep it. Rent it out. Use it as investment property. I haven't decided. My phone buzzed. A text from Patricia. Your mother's lawyer called. She's asking if you'd reconsider letting her stay in the house. She's willing to pay rent. I showed Daniel. What do you think? What do you want to do? I thought about it. Thought about the birthday card. Thought about 30 years of being just Anna. Thought about my father's deathbed message. Thought about my mother's apology. I typed back, no. The house is mine. She had her chance to make it a home. She chose to make it a place where I didn't belong. Now she doesn't belong there either. Daniel, read my response. No regrets. No regrets. And I meant it. Because I'd finally learned the hardest lesson of all. Family isn't about blood. It isn't about who raised you or what last name you have. Family is about who loves you, who sees you, who values you. And the people who raised me, they weren't family. They were just people who lived in my house for a while. And now that house was mine again. Ready for whatever came next. Ready for a future that didn't include people who thought birthday cards were appropriate venues for cruelty. Ready for me to finally be free.